to my inaugural screencast. This screencast addresses the question about the mathematics labs that we do in Edgenuity, our web-based program used at our high school for online credits. And we're going to provide the students with some steps for attacking these mathematics labs that often get overlooked because they're confusing or because they don't load properly. And Edgenuity does provide an overview as well as links to assist you in the labs as well as their other activities. In their orientation video, they address the labs briefly, but I think we need to specifically address ways to be successful in these mathematics Edgenuity labs. So let's go over here to our student login website, the Edgenuity student website. We'll log in, and voila, we're off. This is always best when using Mozilla Firefox, especially to load the math and science lab. So let's click on our first course here, Geometry 1. The next activity is the lab assessment. So if I go to the next activity, we'll see that. But let's go to the course map, and as you know, if you're doing the assignments sequentially, you'll see that the thing before the lab assessment is the lab lecture. So step 1 to being successful in these Edgenuity labs is to watch the lab lecture. Okay, we're not going to do that now. We're going to go right into the lab assessment. And once the lab assessment loads up, they're in it. And it says, in the diagram below, the black lines are, and they give us a choice of parallel, intersecting, skew, or none of the above. Now, this View Lab button, oftentimes students will try to answer the question, but if you view the lab, and that's our second step to success, is view the lab, because when you do that, it brings up a pretty cool gizmo, and the gizmo, once fully loaded, you can use to replicate your picture. So this picture has our plane tilted a little bit and 2 lines. So let's get our plane tilted just a little bit and tilt it that way, or it doesn't matter, we'll tilt it this way. And 1 line, intersecting lines, parallel lines, or skew lines. Well, I believe they were intersecting lines. Let's see. And get a set of lines that look like ours. Very much wise looks like ours. And they are, there we go, intersecting lines just like our picture. And we can click intersecting lines and click on. But so the third step to being successful in these labs is really playing with the gizmo here. Okay, so they give you different. You can click on new example for different examples. They have examples with 1 line. You can just do a new line. You can get a new plane, or a different example with a different line to a different plane. Then of course the intersecting line, which was our answer to number 1. Sets of parallel lines with different examples, and sets of skew lines, which of course are lines that intersect the plane. So we've used the gizmo to answer question 1. We'll click to next. In the diagram below, the black lines are parallel, intersecting, skew, or none of the above. Okay, now here's an example of skew lines. And I think it looks a lot, as you can see, it intersects that plane. And we've answered that question. If 2 lines lie on the same plane and have more than 1 point, this is one of the problems with the Edgenuity, is the question appears to be cut off. But we'll look at it. If 2 lines lie in the same plane and have more than 1 point, what could that be? In common, they are, well, they're lying in the same place, so not skew, and they have more than 1 point in common in the same plane, they would have to be identical lines. So we use our mathematical knowledge there to kind of finish the question and answer. And then finally in the diagram below, ooh, this one's a little tricky. Are they parallel, intersecting, or skew? I mean, they appear to me that they're getting closer up here, but let's once again go to our diagram, and if we go to parallel lines, and look for examples, we should be able to find the example. That's kind of like our example from the picture here, you can see. And so I would say that they are definitely parallel lines. And we will click next. Oh, there's another. Nope, that's all of them. Next. Double check that you've answered your questions. We have. Submit it. We got 100%. So we've answered our questions, and let's go back here to our presentation. So our steps to success when doing the Edgenuity videos are first to watch the lab lecture in its entirety, take notes if necessary. To view the lab, so make sure you click on the link that views the lab. Play with the gizmo, okay? The gizmos, sometimes they're a little tricky, and finding the picture that correlates with the question might be tricky, but play with all the options. And then finally answer the questions. And in this particular assessment, the questions were directly related to the gizmo. You could find the question replicated in the gizmo. So good luck with your lab assessment.